Hello, Sanford, and welcome to the Howler here on the Sanford Sports Radio. I am your host, Jonathan West, and it's time to talk about the first game in Coyotes football history. But we'll talk about those recruits first things first, as Cameron Wilson is looking the way right now of Sanford, and that is huge. A big 6'4", 220 receiver would be great for this team, and being a 4-star prospect, right now I'd say he's out of our range. But right now he's looking our way, and hopefully it stays that way, because tackle Parker Freddie isn't so promising right now. He wants to stay close to home, so he's looking at BYU and Utah right now as his prime options. I mean, we're still fighting, but Freddie is looking the other way right now as the Coyotes are fighting for position for the tackle. Wilson, luckily, the big name on the board, seems to be a fan of what the Coyotes think of him. I'm excited for that one. Now let's go to the typo that was given to me just, of course, in the preseason, and it's Bryston Mitchell, not Bryson. There's a T in there. Hopefully we get that fixed by season's end or next season. That'd be great, but he's right now looking at West Virginia. We'll have to hope maybe he'll change his mind just a bit. As Tanner Patrick, though, the quarterback out of Cincinnati, Ohio, who's got some speed to him and is much more of a combination of West and Dillon, is looking the way of Sanford currently, but it's any man's race right now for him. But another quarterback we didn't get to talk much about is Nate Walker, who's in a huge who's having a huge battle between four schools right now, Sanford included, over him. We'll probably talk more about him next week and the weeks upcoming, but right now it looks like UVA's got him in their back pocket. Deshaun Haas, the big 6'6", 285 defensive end, is looking the way of Sanford currently. Hopefully that stays promising there. But then Daniel Gregory IV out of McKinney, Texas, liking to stay close to home. He's not looking to go to Sanford right now. Maybe we can sweet talk him in. I'm not so sure about that unless Coach Wolf and Coach Riley have an idea that's going to bring him here. It looks like the Mean Green might have him. Luckily, though, there is one corner that's got us high on his board, and that's Flash Gibson. We're over top Clemson, folks. That is huge. A recruit likes us more than the Clemson Tigers. I'll take that. We could use his speed, and he is a nice cover corner, so I'll be happy with that. Pat Riley, on the other hand, continues to say Sanford is a possibility. He likes the idea of sunny Hawaii right now. But, coming to play with your brother is a smart idea. You'll learn from a very good coaching staff. So hopefully Riley comes with his brother over to Sanford. Now the final guy we'll talk about is Joe Irving, as Irving is a big defensive tackle, and I mean a very big defensive tackle, 6'3", 288, and he is a powerhouse. He is a pure pass rusher. You could see him a lot like the way Elliott Flowers is going to be used in this defense, and I think he would fit right in on that defensive line. I'm really excited to see if Sanford can really battle Notre Dame for him. Some other names on the board are Daniel Clemens, currently not getting a lot of attention here from Sanford, but he does like the school, and we do have a need at safety. We have, of course, Leslie Ingram, who is graduating this year, so they're going to need some depth there at safety, so Clemens could come in. Now, Kellen Herron is another defensive tackle that Coach Wolf thinks is very promising. He stated to me that he may not be a starter day one. By year 3, he should be, and he should be a hell of a player. So we'll see if he winds up coming or not. That's a giant question mark right now. Some more questions are, of course, the offensive line situation, as Mark Lewis is now a big prospect, given that Freddie Parker looks like he may not be thinking Sanford at all. So expect for Lewis to be a big target for this team going further on into the season. We'll talk more about the top 10 as the year progresses and as commits come in and many other things. Jason Stevens is also a possibility. However, the tackle was kind of dropped off the board with Lewis looking like the better talent. Now let's get into some talk here while the highlights of practice go on. Let's talk about one thing in particular, and that is this team in their first game. They're up against the NC State Wolfpack, not a dominant team in the ACC, but an ACC team nonetheless. The ACC is a great conference, and it's a tough conference. This isn't going to be the toughest game they could have to start the season by any means, but it's going to be a tough one. Coach Wolf's going home to his alma mater, and this team's got to just showcase itself. They've got to play smart football, and they have to play it well. Now that leads me to the one question we got this week from the fans. The name of Pop-Up Bugs asked, what is a good start for this team? And a good start for this team, in my opinion, is just getting on the scoreboard right now. They're up against some good teams early on. They got to prove, not only to the fans, but to the coaching staff that they can score. And if they can do that, maybe the confidence will come and victories will join it. But that's a giant question mark. I think this team has a lot of potential this season. They just got to make that potential happen, where things are going to go downhill extremely quick. They can start out good, or they can start out real bad. I'm not sure which one's going to happen. As we'll talk more about this, and we'll talk more about this team next week when they take on UConn. But first, we've got a big game against North Carolina State in the Wolfpack. Parker Dillon is going to have a big game, hopefully. And he's going to have to put a lot of weight on his shoulders if Nigel McTaggart can't get the run game going. There's going to be a lot of weight on the shoulders of those receivers and Coach Drew Martin to get the offense going this week. So, with that, I leave you folks on this Week 2 edition of the Howler, and we head towards the first game of the season, and the first game in history for these Coyotes. And we're going to see exactly how well these boys can perform under pressure, under a spotlight, and under a big magnifying glass against top competition. It may not be the best, but hey, right now, just about every team in the NCAA has more experience against top caliber teams than the Coyotes do. They have yet to play a game. They're playing their first this week, and records will be set. And hopefully, players come to shine. I am Jonathan West, and I will be with you on the call for the first game in Coyotes history. Folks, we've got just a little bit more of the highlights to go. Enjoy it, and I will see you Saturday for the first game in Coyotes history. And welcome everyone to the first ever game in the history of Sanford College. I am Jonathan West here on the call for the Sanford Sports Radio here, bringing you the first collegiate game for the Sanford College Coyotes as they are here in Raleigh, North Carolina. I'm up in the press box here in Carter Finley Stadium, and we are ready for some college football to begin. This is huge as the Coyotes take on the NC State Wolfpack to start things off. North Carolina State, the much more experienced and a lot of people can say it now, the much more dominant team than the Coyotes. We'll see if the Coyotes can showcase here in the alma mater of head coach Adam Wolf, and if in his first game he can pull off the unthinkable and take out his former alma mater and take out the red and white of NC State at home. Now, I seriously doubt it, but I expect these kids to fight tough. I expect them to bring their heart out here on the field for game one, and I expect for records to definitely be set as we are underway here. Herb Fellows, the number 1 receiver, will get the first return in career history, as there he goes up past the 20 to about the 21-yard line. And you want to talk about first here? It is the first game in history, the first snap here for Parker Dillon in Coyotes history, as he hands off to Nigel McTaggart for a 2-yard gain. So the first gain in history is a 2-yard run. It's not looking so hot right off the bat, but at least it's a gain, as on 2nd and 8, Herb Fellows with a gain of 14 towards the sidelines. Hell of a catch by the man wearing number 1 and the number 1 guy to look for in the passing attack. Now Dillon hands off to McTaggart here as McTaggart takes it up for 3. He's not gaining much early, but they got to utilize that run game to wear down this defense. As it's 3rd and 7, Dillon through the air. There's Mike Ashley, but Ashley can't hold on. The senior doesn't have those hands. As now NC State takes over for the first time today. Matt Days on the carry, and he carried Shane Townsend. That's a powerful man to carry for about 3 to 4 yards. As they gained a first down there, as Matt Days is back on the carry. And this time he's caught up a bit. He's able to fight off Dante McPherson, but gains 4 on the carry. Matt Days now gets hit hard on a gain of 4. That's 3rd and 2 upcoming now, as this defense looks to start showing up here. They go play action. Jalen Samuels, he's called the Swiss Army knife of the Wolfpack offense. That's a gain of 14 for the fullback, tight end, wide receiver hybrid. They stay on the ground once again. Matt Days goes down. Shane Townsend's brought him down, and he stays down. From what I'm hearing, Matt Days will be on the sideline for a couple plays. Nothing serious, as Nichols comes in his place. 12-yard rush and a new set of downs. As now the Wolfpack goes back to the ground. They've stayed on the ground, and they're really running the offense that Sanford wanted to run to begin this ball game, and it's working for the best here. As the 3rd straight run in a row, folks. It's just not pretty. This defense can't stop them, and you can tell they're getting exhausted. Finally, Nichols is stopped, as on a 1st and 10, it's a loss of 2. Trey McLaughlin, the middle linebacker for the Coyotes, comes up, makes a big play, and a loss of 2. However, 3rd and 9 here. Days is back, and the big playmaker makes another one. 12 yards on the screen, and that's going to put him at the 3. 1st and goal for the Wolfpack. Finley looking to throw. He's going to take off. He gets stopped a bit, but he keeps fighting. Come on, boys. Wrap up. A 2-yard gain for Ryan Finley, as that should have been a loss of 2. As Finley takes the ball again here, and he'll finish what he started. 2-yard touchdown run. Can't say I didn't expect it, but the NC State Wolfpack is up quickly here to start this game. As now the Sanford offense is back on the field, and they go back to the ground game. That is Timmy Shelby on the ground. He gains 3. His ground game's been slow to start. Hopefully it picks up pace. 3rd and 7 now. Dillon to throw deep. Wide open is Tremaine Dingle. 47 yards for Tremaine Dingle. He just got behind the defense, and that's what the freshman can do. Good showing, young man. As Dillon gonna now take this offense into the promised land pretty much, as that's a gain of 1 from McTaggart. This running attack is non-existent. This is the lifeblood of the offense, and it's not working. As Dillon now throwing again on 3rd and 6 and nearly intercepted by Dravius Wright. It's just not working out as they take the field goal, and everything bad will happen today apparently. No luck for the first game as it bounces off the left post. As we go to the end of the first quarter, folks, NC State up 7-0. We'll be back with more when we return to the game. Hopefully, Sanford can get something going. Welcome back, folks, to the first game in Sanford history. It's not looking sharp right now as Finley to throw here for the Wolfpack, finding Cook, his big tight end. That's a gain of 15, and this offense has been unstoppable. Their first drive went fine, and now their second drive is starting off just as well as a pitch goes to Daquan Nichols. And it's a beautiful run down to the 40. I can't believe this. I expected more from this defense. I know they're a young team. They're new as Shane Townsend there makes a huge play on Matt Days. Good job, Townsend. But they've got to make big plays. Can't just sit there and take hits. This is looking like another one. Finley on the run, and he slides after a big first down gain. Gain of about 15 there. 2nd and 9 now. Finley to throw. He finds Stephen Lewis for the first time today, and they're making this defense look silly. Mark Riley can't be happy on the sideline. Gain of 19. Finley to throw. Hooks up with Nyheim Hines somehow with defenders in the way. 6-yard touchdown throw from Ryan Finley. Can the Wolfpack do anything wrong? As it looks like Sanford still can't get their running game going. It's a short gain of 3 again. 11 yards total for McTaggart today. So they go to the play action here on 2nd and 7, and Tremaine Dingle can't bring it in. It's good coverage by Wright. Just mistakes right now, and Dillon's trying to do the best he can. He hooks up with Fellows on 3rd and 7. There we go, a positive play. 17 yards as Fellows is the brightest spot on this team right now. As there's Tremaine Dingle, a gain of 11. He had one big play earlier. Can we get another from him? As 2nd and 8 now, Timmy Shelby on the run, a gain of 4. The running game may be starting to heat up now. That's so far been the longest run we've seen today. As Dillon to throw on 3rd and 4. Can't connect with Fellows because it goes right through his hands. As now the Wolfpack gets another chance to go down and score. And they're going to do it on one play. Matt Days outrunning everybody. He's even got Hines and another player with him. I'm not sure who the other number 8 was, but that was Matt Days and Nyheim Hines running side by side down the field. You've got to be kidding me. I mean, I can't say I didn't expect a close game. But this is getting outrageous. 21-0. NC State has scored on 3 straight drives. As finally McTaggart gets a nice gain here. A gain of 6 on that run. That's the first bright sign from McTaggart so far today. It's Dillon trying to pick up another first, and he's able to. Trusting Tremaine Dingle, the young receiver. At least there's some young bright spots going on here. So they go back to the ground game. Timmy Shelby fighting. Hey guys, we got a first down on the ground. There we go. The offense starting to feel it. As it's 2nd and 10 now, McTaggart tries to find room, can't find it, and goes down for a loss of 2. Eris Moore on the tackle. As Dylan hooks up with Fellows on third down. Thank you for the big play, Fellows. You've been having a great game so far. As they go to play action here on 1st and 10. Tremaine Dingle deep downfield again. 29 yards. Things are going good. Well, they're showing the replay on the board here in the stadium. And it was a magnificent play by Dingle getting behind the defense for a second time. And they go with the flea flicker on 1st and 10, but it doesn't work out. They tried some tomfoolery. Justin Jones wasn't biting. And well, Dylan paid hard for that one. As things have not looked bright right now, as we haven't seen Sanford enter the end zone. I mean, that's all they're looking for this game, but I want to see it as Mike Ashley with the catch there towards the sideline. Big first down into the red zone, and it's punctuated by Herb Fellows' 7-yard touchdown catch. That's the man that should get the first score in Sanford history. The coaches are still pumped on the sideline here. So this will be the last play of the half, as Elliott Flowers is able to take down Ryan Finley. Maybe a sack that's really worth nothing at the end of the half. But hey, some positive momentum for Elliott Flowers as Sanford goes into halftime down 21-7. But hey, they scored. Welcome back, everyone, to the Sanford Sports Radio. You are listening to NC State versus Sanford as NC State leading 21-7 as we start this third quarter. Naeem Hines with a big 32-yard return. The Wolfpack back on offense. They have scored on just about every drive. Ryan Finley taking off and running with him for a gain of 13 here, as this Sanford defense cannot stop the run today. As Finley hooks up with Stephen Lewis after the play action fake. Cruz was all over him. Lewis just able to pull that one in. Finley taking off again on 1st and 10. He's got all the running room he needs, and no one's gonna catch him. 41 yards. Ryan Finley. This run defense is just nowhere today. It's going to be a lot of growing pains, it looks like. I just forgot they were this painful. As 1st and 10, the handoff for Sanford goes to Timmy Shelby, and that's another nice game for Shelby. 9 yards there for the second running back on the depth chart. 2nd and 1 now goes to McTaggart, and McTaggart picks up his first down. There we go, some momentum, but not much going in the run game right now. Got to get some spark of life. This team really goes through the run game. As Fellows, though, off the play action, is able to get 17 yards on that catch. He's having a great game here. As look at this, they go to the option with Dylan. He is not the fastest man on this team at the quarterback position. That's Kenny West. He picks up a big first down. Dylan hands off to McTaggart. This offense is finally getting some good balance going. Gain of 5. And this is looking like the team we expected. 2nd and 5. Dylan to throw. He goes down, though, as he can't get it off in time. Loss of 10 as Wright came in on the safety blitz. It's a big hit there. This crowd is loving it. This NC State home fans are cheering their heads off. As Dylan can't get it off again here on 3rd and 15. The Wolfpack are feasting. Back to the NC State offense, and Cole Cook making Leslie Ingram look silly with that stiff arm. Only a 4-yard gain, but man, the impact. There's a big hit on 2nd and 6. Braylon Cherry goes nowhere. Stephen Young, the man who made the big hit. As can they get a stop here on 3rd and 6? No, Braylon Cherry makes up for the no gain. 23-yard reception. This defense has given up too many big plays. As 1st and 10, Finley able to find Cherry as he just beats Young. Young overshoots him by just a step. 1st and 10 now. It's the handoff from Finley. No, it's play action again, and he can't hit Cook there. He overshoots his man. That is the first mistake for Ryan Finley today. He had been perfect until now. As it's a big 3rd and 9, they go to the screen. Come on, boys, stop them. They finally get a stop. There we go. Matt Days can't pick up the first field goal for NC State today. That's a momentum boost. That is a huge plus. State still scores, but hey, it's not 6 points. Still in the throw. Deep ball, wide open was Herb Fellows. That's a huge 32-yard gain. The number 1 receiver for this team, the man who wears number 1, having a huge day. Conveniently against Wright, who has also had a nice day. Talking about Wright. No, that's Mike Stevens that laid the hit. McTaggart was laid out on that play. As now they pitch out to Timmy Shelby. And Shelby goes backwards. A loss of 5. It'll be 3rd and 15 upcoming. Third and 15. Empty set. Dillon to throw. Deep bomb. And it's picked off Justin Jones. You know, I can't say that I'm mad at that. Josh Jones gets the interception. I'm sorry I called him Justin. But Josh Jones gets the interception. However, if it's thrown just a tad bit earlier, that might be another big play for Tremaine Dingle. As the NC State offense goes back to Matt Days, their biggest weapon. An 8-yard gain, and he is now over the 100-yard mark. As they now go back to the ground, Ryan Finley, and he's going to take off for another big run. 26 yards for the quarterback. Everyone is running. Finley's just 8 yards short of 100 yards today. It's Finley to throw this time, and a great play, Dante McPherson. Great deflection by the safety. 2nd and 10, Finley to throw. Connects with Braylon Cherry. It's not going to be a first, as it's only a gain of 9. 3rd and 1, but we're headed to the 3rd quarter of play. State up 31-7. We'll be back with the last quarter after this. Welcome back, everyone, to the final quarter of play here. You are listening to the Sanford Sports Radio as Ryan Finley picks up another big first down for the Wolfpack. I mean, I've said it already today. Growing pains. I forgot how tough they were. This team we knew was going to have a tough time against NC State, and they're showing it as Cole Cook nearly finds the end zone. They're going to mark him out at about the 1 or 2 yard line. 1st and goal, Finley hands off to Samuels, and the Swiss Army knife scores for the Wolfpack. They're now up 37-7. 38-7, and McTaggart's day has been full of just gloom and turf. He's been taken down so many times here. Dillon to throw. Hooks up with Fellows. How Fellows caught that, I don't know, but a hell of a 20-yard catch. Somehow caught it behind the defender. As just phenomenal. McTaggart can only gain another 1 yard. been a tough day on the ground. At some point, he's got to break off something, right? Dillon to throw again here. 2nd and 9 turns into a big play. Herb Fellows. He's having a career day, and I think this could be a record day that may never be broken. As another big play for Fellows, even shook off Josh Jones. 41 yards and nearing the red zone again as there's the throw. Picked off by Boone. You know, I want to say that this isn't a bad thing. And it's not. It's the first game of the year. They're a young team. They're new to the NCAA. But you expected more. That's just all I'll say. This isn't USC. This isn't Alabama. He scored, and that's great. There needs to be more from this team as there's some fight. Shane Townsend on the sack. His first sack of his career. Actually, they'll mark it. It's just a tackle for loss. But there we go. On the next play comes Townsend. That is a sack. Leading to 3rd and 21 now. Good job, Townsend. The replay here in the arena. And the State fans are finally quieting down. They may be up 38-7. They finally have stopped cheering. Matt Day is now running in. Wait a minute. You have got to be kidding me. They just let up 24 yards on the ground. The youth of this team on display. Finley to throw. And Chris Wood, almost oblivious to the throw, was too focused on Stephen Lewis. Didn't see the throw come his way. Could have been a pick. But nonetheless, it's a 5-yard gain. And now, Taquan Nichols gains 4 on that run. That's a first down, Wolfpack. They're just running out this clock at this point. The handoff goes back to Matt Days. He's brought down behind the line. Trey McLaughlin has looked very nice in a couple of spots here today. Nice to see that middle linebacker leading his team here. Ryan Finley on the run again. He gets hit hard though. That's, I believe, Dante McPherson that laid the hit, but that's all she wrote for this ball game as the Wolfpack then kneeled the rest of this game away. And folks, it was a starting point for this team today. They scored, and that's a huge plus. Herb Fellows had a day that may never be matched by a Sanford receiver in his first career game. 165 yards and a touchdown. Huge performance. Parker Dillon looked very solid even with the 2 interceptions. There are positives, but the biggest negative is the play of the run defense, and I think the scariest thing, the running attack on offense. This team is built around the run. It didn't work out today. I don't know what to say. All I do know is that this team has a lot to fix. And Coach Wolf, Coach Riley, and Coach Martin, well, they've got a big job ahead of them. There's still a lot of games left in the season, and we've got a big one next week against UConn. Come back for that, folks, here on the Sanford Sports Radio. I am Jonathan West, and I will see you folks next week.